Dear students and viewers, good wishes for you all. I hope all of you are hale and hearty by the grace of Almighty Allah. You are remaining at home. You know, the whole world is now going through an unprecedented and unexpected situation. COVID-19 is spreading as a pandemic throughout the world. Bangladesh is also not out of this crisis. All the education institutions of Bangladesh are closed down because of this crisis. As a result, your study is also hampered. So, to repair the loss of your study a little bit, Noakhali Govt College is trying to give you some online classes. Today, I am going to discuss a topic which is pronoun referencing. Pronoun referencing is a grammatical item which is from English second paper, and the question number of pronoun referencing is 8. To understand pronoun referencing, we should have some clear idea about noun, pronoun and pronoun reference. Now let's start. Noun. Noun is a word that is used to refer to the name of a person, animal, place, thing, phenomenon, substance, quality or idea. In short, we can say that any name is a noun. We can give some examples. Salam, Sabina, Dhaka, tiger, family, iron, honesty, etc. Okay, now we are going to pronoun. Pronoun is a word or words that are used in place of a noun, noun phrase or clause. Dear students, generally we know that pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun, but we should also remember that pronoun can also be used in place of a noun phrase or clause. Okay, we can give some examples of pronoun. I, we, you, he, she, it, they, this, that, who, which, what, whom, whose, which, each other, one another, etc. Now I am going to clear about pronoun reference. Pronoun refers to a noun or noun phrase or clause. And the referred noun or noun phrase or clause is called pronoun reference or antecedent. I repeat, the referred noun or noun phrase or clause is called pronoun reference or antecedent. If I give some examples for you, then it will become clear. Example number 1, Rupam has a brother. He goes to college regularly. In the first sentence, the subject is Rupam, which is a noun. In the second sentence, the subject is pronoun. The subject is he, which is a pronoun. Here, the pronoun he refers to the noun Rupam of the first sentence. So, Rupam is pronoun reference. Okay. In the second example, we see that Habib gave me a nice pen. Recently it has run out. In the first sentence, we get a noun phrase which is a nice pen. In the second sentence, we get a pronoun which is it. It refers to the noun phrase of the first sentence. So, in these two sentences, we see that it is a pronoun which refers to the noun phrase a nice pen of the first sentence. So, we can say that it is a pronoun and the noun phrase a nice pen is a pronoun reference. Then the third example, Mr. Rahman leads a very decent life and it is known to all. In this sentence, we find two clauses. The first clause is Mr. Rahman leads a very decent life, and the second clause is it is known to all. In the second clause, we get a pronoun which is it. Here, the pronoun it refers to the first clause, that is, Mr. Rahman leads a very decent life. So, the clause Mr. Rahman leads a very decent life is the pronoun reference. So, we see that as pronoun reference, we get noun phrase or a clause. Now, we are going to discuss about the classifications of pronoun. Pronouns are of 8 types. Pronouns are of 8 types: personal pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, interrogative pronoun, relative pronoun, indefinite pronoun, distributive pronoun, reflexive pronoun, and then reciprocal pronoun. Okay. Now I am going to discuss about some passages of pronoun references. I want to inform you that we have to know some rules and regulations of solving pronoun references. Yes, we must know some rules and regulations, but in case of pronoun references, practicing is much more important than the rules and regulations. While solving pronoun references, we should remember that we have to do two things. That's are, first of all, we have to identify the pronouns, and then we have to make the unclear pronouns clear and incorrect pronouns correct. Remember, I repeat, we have to make the incorrect pronouns correct and unclear pronouns clear. So, to do that, at first we should read the whole passage carefully. Normally in a passage, we get 5 problems of pronoun references. Some pronouns are unclear and some pronouns are incorrect. We have to clarify the unclear pronouns and correct the incorrect ones. Now I am reading a passage. You should listen to it very carefully. Women are nowadays as important as men in society. Generally, we do not get any problem of pronoun reference in the first sentence. The problem starts in the second or third sentence. So here in the first sentence we do not get any problem. In the second sentence, she constitutes nearly half of our total population. In this sentence, the subject is she, which is singular number. But in the previous sentence, we see that the subject is women, which is plural number. She cannot be a correct pronoun of women. The correct pronoun of women is they. But here, if we use they, it will remain unclear, because in the sentence there is a complement which is men. So if we use they, it remains unclear because we don't know whether it refers to women or men. That is why we have to clarify the pronoun. So we should use a noun as a clear pronoun, as a correct pronoun. We should use women in place of she. Look at the sentence again. She constitutes. Here the subject is she, which is third person singular number. That is why verb is followed by s. But when we use women as subject, we should not use s with the verb. So we have to change both the subject and the verb. The subject she should be changed into women, and the verb constitutes should be used without s. So the answer will become women constitute. No nation can make real progress keeping half of it in the darkness. In this sentence we find a pronoun which is it. It is unclear. Here the pronoun it is unclear. We don't know what does the pronoun it refers. So we have to clarify the pronoun it by using a noun. Keeping of half it. Keeping of half what? Half of what? Half of its population. So instead of it, we should use its population. Its population. Note that its population should be written in this way. Its. We should not use apostrophe s while writing its, because if we use its with an apostrophe, then it will indicate it is. But we should use its, which is a possessive pronoun. We should use its without apostrophe. Okay. Without the uplift of women, it is not at all possible. Without the uplift of women, it is not at all possible. Which is not possible? What is not possible? Actually, progress is not possible. In the previous sentence, we find the word progress. We find the noun progress. So instead of it, we should a noun which is progress. Again, without education, women cannot be uplifted. In this sentence, there is no problem. So proper education should be given to her. So proper education should be given to her. Her is a singular number. We see that the subject of the passage is about women, which is plural number. So her, we see her is singular number. Her cannot be a pronoun of she, of women. We should use them instead of her. So the answer will become, so proper education should be given to them so that they can work hand in hand with them. With them. Here them is an unclear pronoun. Instead of them, we should use men, because women can work hand in hand with men in all development programs. We see that in the passage there are 5 problems of pronoun. We have got some pronouns unclear and got some pronouns as incorrect. We have clarified the unclear ones and we have corrected the incorrect ones. Okay, we are going to the next passage. The Liberation War of Bangladesh is a memorable event in our national life. In the first sentence, there is no problem of pronoun reference. She achieved her independence through sacrifice and bloodshed. In the second sentence, the subject is she. She is the pronoun of Bangladesh. We know here Bangladesh is our motherland. We consider Bangladesh as our mother. So using she is not incorrect. Rather, she is unclear, because in the previous sentence we get Bangladesh, Liberation War, memorable event, national life. So if we use she, it remains unclear. To clarify the pronoun, we should use a correct noun. So instead of she, we should use the noun Bangladesh. So the sentence will become, Bangladesh achieved her independence through sacrifice and bloodshed. It is the birthright of a man. What is the birthright of a man? We know independence is the birthright of a man. So instead of it, we should use the noun independence. Independence is the birthright of a man. On the night of March 25, 1971, the Pakistan army fell upon the unarmed sleeping Bengalis. In this sentence there is no problem. But we were not cowards. cowards. Here the pronoun we is unclear because in this sentence we indicates the freedom fighters. Here we, the pronoun we doesn't necessarily mean the present we. Actually, here the pronoun we refers to the then freedom fighters. So instead of we should use the freedom fighters or the Bengalis. Then the sentence will become, but the freedom fighters were not cowards, or the Bengalis were not cowards. Though there are more than one answers in examination, we should use only one answer. They built up strong resistance against them. They means freedom fighters, we know. They built up strong resistance against them. Against whom? Against the Pakistan army. So here them is an unclear pronoun. Instead of them we should use the pronoun the Pakistan army. We fought against the Pakistan army. They fought with courage for long 9 months. In this sentence there is no problem. After 9 months bloody war and sacrifice of the freedom fighters, the red sun of independence rose in our soil on the 16th December 1971. In this sentence there is also no problem. Now we remember them with great respect. Now we remember whom. To whom we remember? Actually we remember the freedom fighters. Now we remember the freedom fighters with great respect. So instead of them we should use the pronoun the freedom fighters. Okay, we have already solved 2 passages. Now we are going to the third passage. Teaching is a profession which is full of challenge. As I have already told you that generally we do not get any mistake of pronoun reference in the first sentence, but sometimes there may be some problems of pronoun references in the first sentence also. Here we find a problem. Here the pronoun is who, which is a relative pronoun. We know who is a relative pronoun which is used in place of a person. But we see that the antecedent of who here is not a person. The word is profession. Profession is not a person. So we cannot use who as a relative pronoun of profession. Rather we should use the pronoun which. So we should use which in place of who, because who is an incorrect pronoun. I want to be teacher because you like working with children. In this sentence we see that you is a pronoun. I want to be teacher because you like working with children. In this sentence you is an incorrect pronoun, because we see that I myself want to be teacher because I like working with children. As I myself like working with the children, so I want to be teacher. Okay, so here the pronoun you should be replaced by the pronoun I. But my father argues that one cannot make much money from it. But my father argues that one cannot make much money from it. From what? We know from teaching. My father argues that one cannot make much money from teaching. He wants me to look after their farms instead. The subject is he, and the possessive of he is his. But here we find the possessive there, which is incorrect. So instead of there we should use the pronoun his. Actually I want to own a farm in future. In this sentence there is no problem. I think it is a good idea to have farm experience before buying it. I think it is a good idea to have farm experience before buying it. It means farms. It means farms, or before buying a farm. Okay, we are going to the fourth passage. Traveling is a part of education. In this sentence there is no problem. This means going from place to place. Here the subject is these. These is plural number. But in the first sentence we see traveling as subject. So instead of traveling, we can use this because this is plural number. Instead of these, we should use this or it, or to clarify it, we can use a noun traveling. One can enhance knowledge by going from place to place. Okay, no problem. Thus gives one the opportunity to see the unseen and know the unknown. Look at this sentence. Thus is not a subject, but we need a subject. And as a subject, we can use traveling. So instead of thus, we should use traveling. Some people are averse to traveling. There is no problem. This limits his vision. In this sentence, there are two problems. This limits his vision. Here, this means this aversion, because in the previous sentence we find a word averse. Averse is an adjective, but we cannot use averse. We should use the noun form of averse. So the word will become aversion. Instead of this, we should use this aversion. This aversion limits his vision. There is another problem. His is a pronoun which is singular number. But in the previous sentence we find subject some people. Some people are plural number. So his is an incorrect pronoun. So instead of his, we should use their. So the sentence will be changed twice. Instead of this, we should use this aversion, and instead of his, we should use their vision. However, by traveling different parts of the world, my knowledge may be enriched. My knowledge may be enriched. We know whoever will travel, his or her knowledge will be enriched. So my is incorrect. We should use our knowledge. However, by traveling different parts of the world, our knowledge may be enriched. My dear students, thank you so much for hearing me so patiently. I think this exercise will benefit you a little bit. If you want to get more benefit, you should practice more and more at your home. You have books at your home, so you can practice more and more from the books you have available. No more today. I wish and pray that you will remain at home and remain safe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.